That's a pretty steep price increase. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm accompanied by this wonderful bag because we're going to be talking about POLENE. We have a lot to cover today. We're going to go over each of the POLENE bags I bought, my customer experience, my thoughts on the quality and designs of the bags, price increases, and resale value. POLENE is a wonderful brand that was founded in 2016 and is based in Paris, and its popularity has been growing a lot. For my purchase history, the very first bag that I ever bought from POLENE was the numero nano in camel, and I bought this bag back in around either 2019 or 2020. I bought it because I loved the style. I thought that the design was gorgeous. It was easy to use. It had a magnetic closure and it has a top handle. I used that bag so much during the first 1 to 2 years after I bought it, but then I stopped using the bag, and I think it's because I fell out of love with it, mostly because of the color. I think I was going through like a camel and a brown phase at the time, and I just kind of fell out of love with the color, so I decided to sell the bag, and I sold the bag on Poshmark last year. The second bag that I bought was the numero in noir, also known as black. This bag, I also loved it a lot when I first got it. I thought it was so unique because of the shape. At the time, I think that was when the hobo shape was really getting back into style, and so that curved shape I thought was just gorgeous and unique. The numero is one of POLENE's most wanted bags. When I went to the POLENE store in New York City, the essay actually told me that the Dix was one of the most wanted bags, and I also experienced that same type of desire from customers when I was trying to sell my bag on Poshmark. So I did use that bag a lot for the first year that I bought it, but I did also fall out of love with that one too. Interestingly, because of the shape, which is the original reason for why I fell in love with it. The bag to me makes like sort of a statement. For some reason, the bag sort of reminds me of like the Dior saddle bag, except now I think it's completely different. But at the time when I first saw it, when I first used it, it reminded me of the Dior saddle bag. And to me, the shape of it and its design makes it really stand out in a way where, like, once you fall out of love with the design and the style, it's like hard for you to get yourself to use the bag. It's also a very stiff bag too. It really can't hold a lot. Like, even the stuff that it can hold, you really have to kind of stick your hand in the opening and then pull your hand out, and it was just a frustrating process to me. So I did decide that I wanted to sell that bag as well, and I sold that bag on Poshmark last year at the same time as I was selling the numero nano bag, and the numero sold so fast. It sold in less than 24 hours. The bag is my third purchase. It's currently the only POLENE bag that I own right now. I bought this bag essentially to replace the Dix. I wanted a bag that had a little bit of a hobo style to it, sort of like the Dix had, but I wanted something that was more discreet. This style to me is a really beautiful design because it has a little bit of a puffy nature to it, yet at the same time it doesn't stand out when you're just holding it on the streets. I wanted a bag that I could use every day and throw on, and I wanted to be a design that didn't seem like it was trying too hard when you were using it. And I also wanted a bag that could hold more stuff than the Dix could. So for this bag, it definitely holds a lot more. So it's a perfect day bag for me. And I think this design is one that I likely won't fall out of love with because it's a more simple design and a more understated design compared to the other styles that POLENE has. Now, the last bag that I tried to buy, but I ended up returning, is the cyme mini bag. Again, when I bought it originally, I thought the design was very pretty, but then when I got the bag, I didn't love that there were like pleats on the bag. I thought that the pleats made it a little bit too girly for me, and so I didn't end up loving it, and I ended up returning that bag. Out of the 4 bags that I bought from POLENE, the cyme bag was the only one that I've ever returned, so I kept 3 out of the 4. When I did do the return for the cyme bag, I had to submit a request to get the return approved, and then POLENE did approve the return pretty quickly, so then I shipped the bag back and I got a full refund, and it was really simple, really easy, no issues at all with it. My thoughts on the POLENE handbags quality. I'm not a leather expert. I just love looking and using handbags. I personally feel like when you touch and feel Polene handbag, you feel the quality. It looks so much prettier and feels so much more substantial than it looks in pictures. And the pictures look great too, but when you see it in person, it's like, wow, this is an amazing bag, and it's just so hard to not fall in love with the bags. There is a guy on YouTube and Instagram, you may have seen him before. I think his name is like Tanner Leatherstein or something like that. He like cuts open handbags and looks at the quality, and he seems to be like an expert on leather, and I think owns his own brand. He seems to really like the Polene handbag when he did like his review of it. The fact that a leather expert is saying that the handbags are great quality, that is another plus in my book. For all of my handbags, the numero un, Dix, and umi, I had used those bags pretty frequently for at least a year, and they all held up very nicely. I don't baby my contemporary bags, so I really put them through the ringer, and even with all the use that I put them through, they looked great after their use, and I was able to resell the ones that I wanted to resell for a really great price. Polene also designs their bags in really creative ways so that every bag has at least 2 ways to use the bag. For example, the numero un, you can use it as a crossbody, a shoulder, or as a top handle bag. And then the numero Dix comes with 2 different lengths of leather strap. And then the umi is also great because you can use it as a shoulder, or you can make the strap much longer so that it can be used as a crossbody bag. For a lot of the bags, you can actually wear for even more than 2 ways because a lot of them have adjustable straps, and so that makes the bags even more versatile. Polene never really goes on sale, but I think their pricing is super straightforward and they don't really play any games with it, which I appreciate and respect. You do have to pay $20 shipping for the bag, but you don't pay taxes on it if you're purchasing online. For the $20 shipping, the shipping is super fast. I've always gotten my bags in like 1 to 2 days, so I actually think that it's pretty worth it. For the quality and the unique design that you're getting, I think the Polene bags are worth it, but there have been some steep price increases, which we'll get to a little bit later. For the downside of the Polene bags, I would say that the consistent theme for myself for why I ended up not liking the bag or falling out of love with the Polene bags is that the designs are almost too unique. For most Polene bags, when you see it on the streets and you see someone carrying it, you can spot that it's a Polene bag from far away in a way that's really great. I think that speaks to the unique design that the brand has been creating, but at the same time, that also means that it's easy to not feel the bag anymore, if that makes sense, because the design is so unique. Polene's unique spottable designs are the main reason I stopped buying Polene bags. I admire a lot of the bags, but I know that for me, I would probably fall out of love with most of the bags, except for hopefully the umi, of course. So I think the unique designs of the bags are one of Polene's strongest strengths, but at the same time, I also think that it's one of their weaknesses as well. One of the best parts to Polene that I didn't realize when I first bought the bags are the resale value. Polene has been increasing their prices, so I probably should have waited to sell my bags, but it's fine. I think I still made a pretty great return. So I sold 2 of my bags on Poshmark, the numero Dix and the numero un nano. The numero Dix I sold in less than 24 hours, and the numero un nano I sold in less than a week. That's crazy. I've never sold bags that fast before. The Dix currently costs $460, but at the time that I bought it at, it was $360. And when I sold it on Poshmark, I sold it for $250. So that was about a 70% resale value. The numero un nano in camel currently costs $420. At the time that I bought it, it cost $320, and I sold it for $250. So that's about a 78% resale value. Compared to a lot of other contemporary brands, that's a really great resale value. I've sold some of my Coach bags before, and they don't hold their resale value quite as much as Polene does. That's a pretty steep price increase to go from $360 to $460. That's a $100 price increase, and then $320 to $420. $100 price increase. That's like what, a 25% increase? That's a lot. With the price increases and my history of falling out of love with the Polene styles, I probably won't be buying another Polene bag, but never say never. There are a few bags on the site that I do admire. So one of the bags that I've been admiring is the numero un, either in like the regular large size or in the nano size in the trio black, which is the one that has like the leather body and then the textured top flap. I think that look just looks so cute. I think that play with the texture and yet still having a black color is just so cute. I think if I had the bag, I would definitely use it and I would love it. I don't know, I think the prices now are just a little bit steep for me to see as like a fun purchase anymore. And then the other bag that I would consider is another Umi bag, actually, because I do love this bag a lot. I would consider the POLENE Umi in the white color, also known as a chalk color. The only thing is that it currently costs $450. That's like basically $500 for a bag. And for my black bag, this one, I paid $390, which to me at the time is still a lot of money, from $390 to $450. And I don't know, when it gets to that upper 300s to $400 range, it's no longer a fun purchase. It's a serious purchase at that point. So I feel a little bit outpriced at this point by POLENE. The price increases have just been so steep. It looks like it's anywhere from $60 to $100 increases for their bag. The prices are starting to hit a range that's making the bag not really worth it anymore and making the bag purchase really not as fun anymore. To me, I saw POLENE as a contemporary brand with beautiful styles and great quality, with a price point where it's worth taking that risk to try their unique bags. The old price ranges to me were more worthwhile. And as somebody who used to own a number of POLENE bags, I feel a little bit like, how can the brand expect me to happily buy more bags? I think the brand might be going after a different audience now since the brand is getting more recognition. I don't know, I love POLENE, but there's something that doesn't feel quite right or quite good now in my heart. The bags themselves are great. I have really no issues with them, besides the fact that I kind of fall out of love with some of their styles. I think the price point right now is just a little bit too much for me. Like at that point, I could really go for a different brand, maybe like a Chloe bag or even like a Louis Vuitton bag at that point. So it just doesn't really make as much sense to me anymore. What do you think of the POLENE brand in bags? And what do you think of their price increases? Let me know, comment down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I can't believe we're over 200 subscribers. That's crazy. I never would have thought that I would have subscribers. That just makes me really happy that I'm part of this handbag community. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.